Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is not for the faint-hearted. Well, actually it's not for you kids. It's for those of us who are a little bit older. So, I'll see you in a minute. Hello everybody, welcome back on this beautiful, man, it's not that beautiful outside. Oh God. It's been raining, but it's nice. We needed to cool down a little bit. We've had some hot couple of weeks, but we're getting some fresh, beautiful spring, finally, spring weather. That's just rain, not snow. But yeah, pretty overcast, and the weather's, not that great. But anyway, so I'm coming to you from inside my office, and this weekend, and on this beautiful Sunday. Matter of fact, it's Easter Sunday in the East. So those of you who are out living in Romania and other countries out there, I hope you're enjoying your Easter Sunday. Anyway, today I wanted to discuss with you hiking for those of us who are a bit older, okay? You young kids can learn from this, that's for sure. I mean, although I tend to not learn much from it when I was younger, and now I'm paying for it as I'm older. But if you're an older hiker, or you're getting into hiking, or you want to get into hiking, go for it. I'm going to give you a little bit of advice today. You can take it, or you can lump it. Those of you who've probably already been hiking for a long time probably know all these things. And those of you who are, who are getting back into it, you're a certain age. I'm 53. I'm no longer a young man. And although my brain wants to tell me I am, my body tells me, my body's not lying to me. Anyway, so hiking when you're older, and getting out and doing either long hikes or short hikes. But the first thing is know your body. Okay, know your body. Okay, you've been there through all the aches and pains. You know how you feel when you get up in the morning. So understand your body. Understand your limits. And so first thing you should do before you start getting out there, I would say go see your doctor and talk to them about it and tell them what you want to do and get their suggestions. I had a back operation 12, 13 years ago, my second one, lower back. Thank goodness the Army, boy, they really helped me a whole lot. When I got out of the Army, everything just sort of blew out, after doing what I did for 10 years in the Army. But my body started having problems, I guess. And I was still working out heavily. I was still, I was still engaged, I was still running and everything else. But just that my body was little by little, feeling the effects of heavy weights, heavy rucksacks, parachuting, long distances, mountains, deserts, jungles, everything. So it was feeling it. So, get out, talk to your doctor first. But like I said, know your body and build on, if you have some things, build on it. Build on what on your limits. Work on that. You don't have to get out there and throw a bunch of weight on your back day one and go for it. What you need to do is build little by little. Even if that means going to the gym, getting on the treadmill and walking, or walking around the block. Just start off doing that in the very beginning without a whole bunch of stuff, just a little bit of water on you, and pick those miles or those kilometers up little by little, and find the routes in the very beginning that are made for you. You don't have to hit the Himalayas. I know people all the time. I remember a long time ago, I was stationed in Germany, and I had a friend of mine who had gotten out, and he was married to an Austrian, and he had gone to, he'd been a big mountaineering guy. And so he went through this Austrian mountaineering school, also went to the German mountaineering school, Alpine school, this kind of like that. And then he was working one weekend and happened to be around, and he asked me to help him out a little bit, because I had done some mountain training myself. And there were lots of elderly Germans there who weren't on the right trail, I would say. So it was, if it weren't for the great training that my buddy had, and I wouldn't say nothing that I had done, I was just there observing basically and sort of helping out, being someone there who was physically fit. A lot of those people could have had some problems. So know your limits and choose the right trails. That means you don't have to go start hitting the top of the mountain peaks, day one. You got to gently work your way up there. And then once you get there, you'll be good to go. You just do it by little by little, Bring with you water and snacks. Plenty of water, plenty of snacks, this kind of stuff, on your little day hikes, building up, and on your overnights, that kind of stuff. So don't just bring food with you, but bring you some stuff that you can, some fruit or whatever, it's going to give you a little bit of boost, a little sugar, this kind of stuff, and bring plenty of water, and like I said, build on that, Simple exercises can improve your abilities, So learn to get some mobility about you. A lot of us lose a lot of mobility as we get older. So work on your mobility and work on simple exercises that's going to help you. Like I said, you can get off by going outside and just walking, and then gently build it up to where you're walking a little faster. Some of us, we walk around 3 miles per hour, I would say. That's about 5 kilometers an hour. Okay. So it doesn't mean you got to get out there and do that on any major hikes, but what you can do is you can do that for your training and that kind of stuff. Do some speed walking and this kind of stuff, and use your body weight, because your body weight can help you when you exercise. Just use your body weight. You don't need to have a big rucksack on your back to train in the very beginning. You got to build up to it. Okay, so do it slowly, do it deliberately, and as you grow, you'll get there. I did a really big time hike. Well, it seems like they all are big time nowadays, because I'm not that light of a guy anymore, and my rucksack seems to be a little bit heavier, especially in the wintertime. Wintertime are probably the worst times to go hiking for overnights for those of us who've been older, because there's a lot of things that included in that, and it's also heavier weight. So do more day trips, this kind of stuff, and if you do it overnight, take your time, getting up there or getting to your point, and like I said, start off on flatter areas, try to hit the major muscle groups when you're exercising also, when you're preparing yourself. Work on the major muscle groups. You need to work on your back, needs to be strong enough, but also your butt, your legs, you need to work on those also. Increase your shoulders, this kind of stuff. And what you'll see is that your body will drop weight as you're exercising, and you will probably return a lot of that muscle that you think you've lost, especially if you're someone who's worked out in the past. A lot of that will return pretty quickly, and you'd be surprised. But it's just a matter, like I said, mobility and working out, and getting those hikes in there, this gentle hikes, this kind of stuff, walks, this kind of like that. It's I used to go hiking with my ex-father-in-law. We go for walks, and this guy, man, he would fly. He would fly. I was out of breath walking with him. He just moved out real quick, and he would bring maybe a water bottle with him or nothing at all, but he would just move out, and he was in such good shape at his age. And this was 50s, 60s, 70s. He was in really good shape. And I was always impressed by just how good a shape he was. If you went with him, we used to use it as a punishment. You need to go walking with your grandpa, because he's going to tear your butt up on a walk. That's for sure, yeah. So, like I said, build up mobility. Like I said, hit those major muscle groups, and just build up gently till you're ready to do those overnight hikes, those long weekend hikes, those long trail hikes for a week or so like that. You got to build up to get there. Consider getting yourself some trekking poles. Now, that's something I've been using for a very, very long time because of my knees, and my hips are having problems because I broke them and damaged them and injured them so many times. So I feel it, especially with the weight. So I need to cut down on weight, not just my own body weight, but also the weight I carry on my back. But I use those poles. Those poles are going. You can train with poles also. A lot of people do it here. You'll see them a lot, especially the women. It's funny. You'll see a lot of women in their little tight suits, running around with the trekking poles on. And that's actually smart, because you're working your upper body along with your lower body. So and your cardiovascular side is really building very, very well. Okay. So use trekking poles. I would always suggest carry some trekking poles with you. Carry a pair, and it's not weak to pull them out. And I use them from the get-go, from the moment I leave the vehicle until I return. Those trekking poles. Matter of fact, my trekking poles are always in my car, so because I'm going to drive somewhere to go hiking. So anyway, also make sure you get the right shoes for the right exercise, the right project, you know. Nowadays you can find some really good lightweight hiking shoes, but you got to build up your ankles, build up your legs to get there. Like I said, get you something. I would say get you some really good, comfortable running shoes for the beginning, just for training, you know. And then once you get off trail, or if you're off trail, get you something that has an off trail sole on it that will help you with the cushion. But also you know, a lot of us, we tend to, you know, I tend to, for a long time, wear boots. And I'm finding out that little by little, I'm not too keen on a lot of heavy boots, especially heavy boots. I try to go as light as possible. So I wear La Sportiva shoes for summer and for summer hikes. And I even have a pair for winter hikes. But of course, if there's heavy snow or if it's really cold out and I'm going for overnights, I'm going to wear, I have a pair of Hicks, they're called sport, I think they're scout boots actually. And they're basically like a military style boot, but they're not as high up on the leg. I don't like that because it cuts the circulation. So find the right kind of shoes for what you're going to do and use those, and be prepared to have, you know, after 3 months, get another pair, because they will wear out, especially if you're doing several workouts a week, you know, they're going to wear them out. So hike with other people. You know, find some friends to hike with. One of the hardest things now, especially now, I've been single for a very, very long time, and I don't necessarily like going out hiking by myself anymore. I like to be with somebody. When I'm by myself, I tend to just go at it, you know, just go. But when I'm with somebody, especially a girlfriend, or when I was with my wife, it was just much more enjoyable. She and I did some really nice hikes together, overnights, camping trips together, and I always enjoyed seeing something through the eyes of somebody else. Even with my kids, it was always nice to see through their eyes and get their impression of things. So hike with other people. If you're going hiking with like a through hike or a long hike with other people, do it at your pace. You know, you do not have to speed hike. Because with the younger people, you let them go on ahead, and then you catch up to them when you catch up with them. You know, you have a set point that you're going to arrive at, and so you'll get there when you get there. You know, so you do not have to speed hike to keep up with somebody. You know, as you get better and better shape. The thing is that you want to enjoy your trip. If it's just to go out there and speed hike, that's something else you can do on a day. You don't need to do that over several days. You know, you can take your time. You know, and start earlier. And end later. You're not in a hurry. Take your time, okay? And take to the trail and enjoy your hike. You know, you shouldn't be out of breath at every inch of the hike. You know, you need to be running on where you can speak, you know. And, you know, normally we used to run at 70% and be able to talk to someone else, or call cadence in the Army. You do a lot lower than that when you're hiking. Just take your time, and you'll get there when you get there, and let everybody else know that, you know, that they don't have to be there with you the whole time, and no one has to keep an eye on you. Okay, so there you go. And take some extra safety precautions. You know, don't be afraid to use technology, either for maps or having a radio on you or your telephone on you. So use this technology to get you from A to Z. You do not have to necessarily carry paper maps, you know, although I'm more of a paper map kind of guy myself. I like paper maps. I like using the terrain that way. But there are some really good apps out there that are basically just a paper map on an app, you know, on your telephone. The only problem with that is you're going to use a lot of battery life that way. So just be aware of that. But yeah, don't be afraid to use technology. And listen to your body. Your body's going to tell you. Like I said, you know your body, but listen to it, okay? If it's telling you to slow down, slow down. If it's telling you to stop and use the bathroom, do that. If it's telling you to take a break, stop and take a break. You know, it's not a race. The idea is to finish. It's not to finish fast. It's to finish, okay? The idea with life is not to finish fast. The idea with life is to finish, okay? Here's a little quote that I have for you. It's not my quote. I'm picking it from somebody else, and it's hiking longer but not faster, okay? So that goes back to what I just said before, okay? And yeah, like I said, start early and finish later if you have to, or, you know, if you have to get up before everybody else does, pack up your stuff and get going. Just make sure they all know, and they know the routes you're going to take, you know. And quite often what we do is I tend to check out everybody's shoe prints so that I know who's in front of me, okay, on hikes. And yeah, that's when you hit this, of course, when you hit sandy area or dirty area, but not on the rocks. But anyway, and when you do hiking and camping together, be aware that you're probably going to go to the toilet more often at night than the younger ones will, and it'll wake you up. So what you can do is get yourself a collapsible bottle with a wide mouth on it, if you're a man, and urinate in the bottle. Make sure you close it very well, and that you don't have it next to your face. Put it down by your feet, at night, so that you're not, and you don't want it to break on you. So you want to get yourself, you can get your, some kind of a wide mouth water bottles like that to do that with. Nothing, don't go out and spend money on some crazy bottle. You probably have something around the house, you can use for that. Just be aware that's going to happen with you, okay? And like I said, you got your snacks with you, this kind of stuff. Your body's going to process all this stuff a little faster for those of us of a certain age, okay? And so another thing is make sure, like I said, something before, start off on light hikes. Don't start off on those major hikes, those difficult hikes, in the very beginning. Start off on light hikes, warm yourself up till you get to where you got to go, okay? Some people come out here, and we see them all the time doing the route to Compostela. Actually, it's I can never get the name right, but I've done parts of it. I've done portions of it here in Switzerland over several days, and we also have behind me. I'm gonna make another video about it, about the Jura. There's a really nice Jura hike, and when I first learned about it was from a man that was over 70 years old, an American. So, and then I began studying and realized actually I lived up there, and then I began doing it. But a lot of people do these longer hikes, and they go through twisty areas. They're quite often they're on improved roads, so they're a lot harder on you. So make sure you dress and that your gear is the right gear. That being said, try to find good lighter gear. Okay, you do not have to go out there and you got to be careful. Some of these big backpacks, that kind of stuff. I mean, they're so heavy. Some of them weigh 5-10 pounds. Some of these backpacks do. Try to find yourself some good lightweight hiking gear. Okay, and use that. Use the lightest stuff you can find. Get those 10 essentials out there. Build yourself a good first aid kit. Pack as light as possible. You'll be surprised how just even a couple of kilos or a couple of pounds will make a difference on a hike, okay, on your body, okay? And train with what you do. I see pictures all the time, people packing pictures of their really nice hiking gear, and you never see a water bottle full of water, you never see any food, So you got to pack with that also. So if you're going to go on a day hike and you're working on for something else, get that backpack out. Put that food in there and that water, or put something that can equivalent to that weight to take up that space in the pack also, so you can get some kind of exercise out of it and get used to it. Okay. But there's some really good lightweight gear out there and on the market you can find. Quite often, a lot of it's much more expensive, but you'll get there. In the beginning, not necessarily, but in the end, you'll get there and you'll get the right stuff, and it'll make your hike much more enjoyable. And then the next thing is, start planning. Start planning that hike. Start planning to get out there. Make it this next weekend or make it tomorrow. If you're on vacation, do those kind of vacations, that kind of stuff, hiking and camping and stuff. They're much cheaper than going to Disneyland. They're much cheaper than going to the beach, unless it's a beach that's secluded somewhere. They're much cheaper than going to some 5-star hotel when you can go to 5 trillion stars, outdoors and really enjoy yourself. Even in bad weather, you can enjoy yourself on a camp out. So look at doing that. Even my wife and our honeymoon, we went camping. It was really nice. It wasn't in the greatest location, but it was in a really good location in Lago Maggiore in Italy. So, and it was quite nice. So, but anyway, make the best of what you can and get out there and get at it. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you have any more any comments, please leave them down below. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Hope you all have a good evening and take care of yourself. Goodbye. This thing doesn't want to stop ever. I have a little button here I can actually stop it. It doesn't want to stop. Why does it not want to stop for? Well, I got to do it manual. I got to reach up here and hit the button. Bye.